So when you think about malaria, malaria is not caused by food poisoning. Malaria is not caused by drinking contaminated water. We all know that malaria is caused by mosquitoes, but are mosquitoes really at fault? You know, the way you see malaria changes. The way I see malaria since I started studying parasitology and entomology really changed my view of seeing malaria. Actually, malaria were not really just caused by mosquitoes, because we normally think that malaria is caused by mosquito. Says that's when mosquito bites you, then you get infected by malaria and it's caused by the mosquito. No. So actually, we are the one that gives this. There is something that a mosquito has. A mosquito has to be contaminated before it can transmit malaria to you, and a mosquito have to have the parasite plasmodium. Don't stress yourself. So plasmodium is a parasite that mosquito carry. And where do the mosquito get it from? The mosquito get it from somebody like me and you. So somebody who has malaria, or somebody who has that plasmodium in his or her bloodstream, is bitten by a mosquito, then the mosquito gets contaminated. And it's only female mosquitoes that actually bite us, because they need blood for protein so they can nourish their egg which they are going to lay. That's why that's why anopheles mosquitoes, that's why they bite us, so they can get blood, which is a good source of protein for their egg. So now, on the means of doing that, these mosquitoes bite infected people, and when they bite infected people, these infected people get contaminated. The mosquito gets contaminated, and the mosquito has a plasmodium at a certain stage. So the plasmodium undergoes some life cycle in the mosquito and end up in the mosquito salivary gland, which when the mosquito bites another person, it then contaminates the person. But some places didn't really have mosquitoes. How did mosquito come about? Like, how did they get infected? How do these harmful mosquitoes come to different regions? Because some regions now don't have these mosquitoes that actually cause malaria and some diseases. For example, now, one major thing that led to how these mosquitoes came about was transportation of cars, tires, clothes, and goods. So mosquitoes, I've not said this, mosquitoes during 6 p.m. in the night till 6 a.m. in the morning, those are the time mosquitoes are active. Like, they are going to look for not mosquitoes though, but those ones that are blood suckers. Those are time they are active, they are going to look for blood to suck and get in. And at those period, after those period in the morning, you see mosquitoes, they are going. If you have this window that have nets, you see them on those nets in the morning. They are trying to find a place that is hidden, that they can just stay and digest and process the blood which they have just taken in. And in doing that, they see themselves hiding in some places. And a warehouse, a dark luggage, a car trunk or something can be where they just go to let this process happen. And that's how the transportation of these mosquitoes from tires, and this dates back. It really dates back. So many places now that have these mosquitoes, the mosquitoes did not originate from there. So because of this transportation, mosquito is now almost everywhere, and malaria is almost everywhere, almost worldwide distributed. So this led to the outbreak of malaria in many places, and because of this mosquito. So what are the things you can do to actually prevent malaria from affecting you and your beautiful family? So you might think medication is actually cheap. Medication is cheap, but prevention is the key. Because at a good climate, like at a good environment, one mosquito entering your home can produce thousands more. And when they keep on biting you and infecting you, and like, treating a mosquito infection is not enough, because when you finish treating it and the mosquito is still present in your home or in your environment are still infected with plasmodium, then you just treated malaria, you will see yourself treating malaria again. And the thing is, when they actually bite you after treating malaria and the mosquito bites you, it's not going to manifest immediately. So it's going to take time for the plasmodium to grow, undergo divisions, and reproduce and become many, have virulence, and then they will come and attack you again. And after a short while, you will have fever again. So what are the things you can do? Number one thing to do to make sure, this one is one of the most effective way, using mosquito nets. You see these nets, they're actually nice. And one thing is about these nets is that when you use mosquito nets, you know this thing that actually, this, will I call it, irritation, yes, after using the net. So when you get a new net, always make sure that you sun that net outside for few hours. I think that is around 24, abi 2 to 3 hours, that you put it on the sun, allow sun to beat it, so when you use it, e don give you that irritation on your face, especially under the sun. You might think doing all these things are actually hard, but when fever gives you a bad day at work or a bad week, and you have to, like, especially for parents who have children they are catering for, and you are just down on malaria, is actually a no. It's a very big no. So you have to do these things for yourself and for your children. Then another one is actually using insecticide. Insecticide is nice, but note that sometimes insecticides are not really the best solution, because you can use it and the mosquito just keeps on coming. So another good way is to seal entry points. Close your doors and your windows and those places where mosquito can enter your house from. Seal them. Seal those points in the, like, that moment of activity from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Close your door, don't let them be. And another thing is, there are these machines, right? There are these UV light traps that you can use and catch this mosquito, because this UV light makes the mosquitoes are actually attracted to our body heat and the carbon dioxide that we emit, and the secretions of some bacteria on our body and on our skin. So when you have these UV traps, it actually traps the adult mosquito before they tend to harm you. Then another one is stagnant water. That one is very, very viral. If you have any stagnant water around you, you keep them away. And that stagnant water is one of the important ones. If you can close your doors shut and you don't have stagnant water, the mosquitoes in your home, their lifespan is not that long. It just takes a week, on a good time, a week, and they are all dead. That is just the end of their lifespan. They don't live, adult mosquitoes don't live more than a week. Just a week, and they'll just die off, and that is the end. And you don't have to deal with them again. So the ones in your house, when you just make sure they are not reproducing in your house, one. Then number two, you make sure they are not coming in like new troops. New troops are not getting into your home. Then that is number two. Then you will be safe from mosquito like that. Or you can use the UV traps and make sure they are not biting you and your children. You can also use the mosquito net is actually very, very nice. And also those nets you put on windows, they are kind of mosquito nets that you put on your window to help you. So even when you are kind of blocking them from entering, you're also receiving fresh air. Is actually very, very nice. So you might think treatment of this malaria is actually not too cost, or actually easy, and you have the money. And but how about what happens when you wake up in the morning and you cannot really do the things you used to do? You end up going to work late, you end up being inactive in work, especially when you have something important, or let me say important project you are working on, and time is limited, and next thing fever just hits you. So it's actually very, very um tiring, and we have to really address it. So this is Jude Okoli. I'm a student of parasitology and entomology, and I'm here talking about safety and your health in relation to parasites and insects and what have you. So stay tuned. If this video really mean, if you learned something from this video, don't forget to subscribe and follow for the next one, and also join my journey as a student. You know I'm actually documenting my journey. So thank you. See you guys in the next video.